Lydia, I have defeated Alduin. I am the leader of every guild. We together as a married couple practically rule Skyrim. But I am bored. I grow tired of retirement. What shall we do next, my housecarl wife?
Bored, are you? We've slain dragons, cleared crypts, and taken every guild in Skyrim by storm. Perhaps that's the trouble. There's nothing left to fear us. But Skyrim always finds new trouble, my love. We could sail for Sals, and the Ash and the Ruins there don't care what titles we hold. Or take to the far reaches, the caves and barrows no map has bothered to name. If you'd rather stay closer to home, there's always the road to Riften and a bit of coin to be made hunting bandits. Or we could simply stay in, and I'll cook you something worth the wait.
Perhaps we could go to Solstheim. Perhaps we can speak to the leader of the Dawn Guard. I am thinking, though, we upgrade from our modest home here in Whiterun and find something new. I heard Falkreath had some land for sale. What say you?
Here's a thinking process. I will follow you into the very depths of Oblivion itself, if that is where our quest takes us.
You like that? Hearthfire was the second major DLC added to Bethesda's most popular game, Skyrim. Within, the player can build 3 homes and adopt children to any one of these homes or their vanilla houses. It was released on September 4th, 2012 on Xbox 360, and later on other platforms. It ended up having mixed reviews, with some loving it and some hating it and some going meh. And I could see where they're all coming from, honestly. Hearthfire didn't move me. Hearthfire didn't make me say, wow, I want to play this DLC again, but I'm going to put it to the test today and see exactly how well Hearthfire held up in 2026. Now, if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think of Hearthfire. So right off the bat, to start Hearthfire, you need to level up high enough to receive a letter from the Jarl of Falkreath. He sends for you personally via courier, because he sees you moving up in the world and wants your assistance. You're only level 5, but at level 5, you're probably stronger than pretty much everyone, right? And chances are it's going to be the much younger Siggeir, who is having some corruption issues with a local bandit gang. The locations that he sends you to are randomized, but for me, it always seems to be Embershard Mine. I don't know what it is about it. And I like Embershard Mine. You can just run to it. Anyways, without failure, dude. You have to go and clear out the bandits because they're no longer giving the Jarl money. So you have to do this random Radiant quest and kill the bandit leader, then return to the Jarl. As a reward, you are able to purchase a plot of land with which you can build your new home. In my playthrough, I went through and I was a little extra. I became Thane of Falkreath by helping out the townsfolk. Not that it was the most important thing in the world, but, it was nice to dive through dungeons, get the guy's journal, do all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But look, it doesn't matter to the DLC either, but it's just fun to have a little recap on this. You have to pad out for time somehow, right? Ha! For the other Jarls, you have to gain their favor with random tasks, such as this one. For instance, hey, want to build a house in Dawnstar? You have to complete Waking Nightmare and the Kill the Giant quest. For Morthal, you have to complete Lay to Rest. All 3 properties will have a unique exterior option to build as well, like the apiary, the fishing thing, the grain mill. So to purchase this new land deed, you must speak to the Jarl's Steward. The purchase is going to run you back about 5,000 gold, the same price as Breezeholm before it's furnished. And the thing is, you're going to be paying a lot more gold, believe me. You're going to be paying hefty amounts. But more on that later. For Lakeview Manor, the one I will be speaking about for the rest of this video, you don't have to go too far. Just up the road and left at Pine Watch. The location is very dangerous and it will be frequently attacked. Now, when you arrive, it's empty. Nothing. You have to build the house yourself. This is where you cue the music for the house building theme in Red Dead Redemption 2. Oh, sorry, this town ain't big enough for the both of us. Town ain't big enough for the both of us. So I kill you. Dead-eye roll. Shoot you dead. I love roll. You get to work by utilizing the workbench outside. There will be a planning table and a starter chest with all the materials you need to get started with your first house addition. the small house. It's exactly that. It's a very tiny house. And after that, you'll need to either purchase or make your own resources. For clay and quarry stone, there's deposits right outside your house with a free pickaxe. For logs, you can cut your own at each sawmill, but it will take forever. And just purchase 20 for 200 gold. It'll run you back quite a bit, but it's so much more worth it than taking the 30 years to saw it yourself. And you have to do like a random task for the sawmill people. Then you could ask, hey, can I do it myself? And they'll be like, yeah. And then you get 10 logs per cycle, but you get 20 for 200 gold. And to get 200 gold, you don't have to do much. So just get it for 200 gold, dude. There's no point. And then you have to go around and purchase corundum and iron from vendors as well as that stuff, you know? Because you're going to need corundum ingots for the locks. And you're going to need a lot of iron for nails, iron fittings, hitches, you know. So you're going to need iron, you're going to need corundum. It's not that expensive. It's not that big of a pain in the butt, except, you know, you have to run around and get it. So you must build your main hall before you can have any other wing additions. This building process is super easy if you just have all the material, and getting it isn't too bad either. You can bang this out in like 30 minutes. After the main hall, which will host a bedroom, a giant table, and whatever other decorations you could find, you could chuck on additions to your home. For the West Wing, I made bedrooms to adopt children. For child adoption in a home, you need to either have a bedroom alongside 2 fully furnished beds and fully furnished chests, or you don't convert your small house into a walkway. I didn't know this when I was going in, and then I only figured out later when I was researching for the script. So, don't make your small house into an entryway if you want to have children but not have the bedrooms. I mean, for the West Wing, there's not really anything important there, but, you know, if you don't want to build bedrooms and you want children, don't make the small house an entryway. But you need the fully furnished beds and the fully furnished chests. So it's something I learned the hard way when I was running back and forth between this home and the Riften orphanage. It wasn't a fun time. I can tell you that. I was getting very angry at that. This is where running back and forth to the Half Moon Mill gets a little irritating because I don't have the foresight to purchase more than 1 set of logs at any given time. And you're going to run out of sawn logs at some point in the process. For me, I didn't know you could stack the logs up. I thought it was just one thing at a time, and I was too stupid to figure that one out. But now that you know, So for my second edition, I went with the kitchen because it has a natural yin and yang to the bedrooms, right? If I'm going to have a roleplay home, I want a full-on roleplay home. Though if I were to build another home, I'd probably get the greenhouse personally because it's more useful. But the home aspect, the kitchen, is the way to go. And for my third option, it was the alchemy lab. You know, one little neat detail I like is that each option has a roof type, and it changes how the house looks on both the inside and the outside. I think the roof on the children's bedroom is a little short personally, but whatever. Also, another thing that I love with this DLC is that you could see the house being built, and each foundation and layer that you build, if you exit out and you check on it, you could see it being built. I absolutely adore that. And the roof for the kitchen is nice and slanted, and the whole build for the alchemy lab is very tight and cramped and a spire. I went for 3 different roofs, if you couldn't tell. Very nice, very neat. I love this level of detail. What do you think of our new unfurnished home, Lydia?
Well, it's still quite bare, but I suppose that's why I wanted to make it cozy for us. My father built those walls, and my mother laid the foundation stones, and seeing them filled with purpose and warmth makes everything feel right.
Okay, she's off her rockers. She's a little crazy. It's fine.
It is indeed new, but that is exactly why I want... Huh?
What was she supposed to say? Smithing stations, horses, chickens, cows, a horse carriage, which is procured by a steward. Now let's get into the steward. You could ask quite a handful of followers to become your steward. You could take them to your house and ask them, and if they're one of the few that can, they will. I picked Rhea from the companions, and then I gave her some of my fancy fine clothes. She, of course, decided to walk around the house naked, though, for some reason. Thanks, game. I know this is just a bug, but I find it pretty funny. And that she's so comfortable walking around my house half naked, even though I gave her fine furs to be the steward, because I don't want her wearing armor in my house, because that's kind of dumb for a steward. The roleplay immersion has been broken. I was going to marry Rhea, but I settled on Lydia because it just made sense, because I had her around with me, and I was doing the Mantella stuff. I'm sure that won't create any conflicts of interest, surely. Now, the steward. You could ask him or her to purchase upgrades for your home, such as the horse carriage, the chickens, the pens, or even a bard. No, they're not random. No, you can't choose which bard you'll get unless you go to a different home, and even then, you don't get the awesome Augmen voice type. Sad, very sad. I don't much care for the noise pollution, especially from Mikhail's voice actor, and so I just don't need a bard, so I don't purchase one. But I'm sure some people love the aspect of it. I don't. You could also have your steward furnish a room for you for gold. It'll run you back quite a bit, like 1,000 at least per room, and the alchemy room is like 3,500 gold. I chose this option because high-key, I'm not furnishing everything myself. I value my time. It's probably maybe cheaper in the long run anyways, because, you know, maybe because you run around purchasing things, maybe you're crafting things, and your time is money, and it just takes a lot of time to get all this material that, you know, I don't want to do. So I purchased the furnishing, and over time, slowly, right, at least in terms of value, it's better in the long run. The steward will slowly but surely furnish it, so you could just go off and do the Galder Amulet questline, like I did, then just sleep for a week to speed the process along. It's a fine time. Rhea, for me, just didn't furnish the beds in the main hall or the children's room, so I had to painstakingly do that myself, though. Never do the things that you want or need. Now, on the topic of furnishings, Hearthfire added a crafting station piece of furniture called the Oven. This allows you to bake goodies like sweet rolls and Jazbay crustadas, which is like what I think of in my mind when I think of Skyrim ovens, like the Jazbay crustada, and I always want to eat one. And I have not eaten one in the 11 years that I've played this game. I have not eaten a crustada, and I want to. It's like one of those things in the game that I just want to try. Right, and this game, it's so cozy, it makes you just want to eat it, and I love the look of the Jazbay crustada. I want to eat one in real life, but I just have never gotten around to it. Maybe someday, maybe someday. Yeah, I love the baking mechanic. It's so simple, it's pretty much useless, yet it's got that Stardew Valley, Pam's Harvest Craft coziness to it. You don't need to do it, but it's awesome just to have the option to do it. I wish food items had just a little bit more boost to them, especially if you do it yourself. Could be a decent alternative to potions, cheaper to produce, more difficult to procure the ingredients type deal, maybe a little bit weaker, but still pretty good as an option. Alas, you don't get anything fun, so food is pretty much useless unless you're in a survival or using Frostfall mod or something. I don't know, even then, why not just stuff your face with the ingredients, right? Or the stuff you find around the map. Now on to children. Yes, this DLC allowed you to adopt children. It adds 4 children, 2 of them to each gender, to various locations, with which you could adopt. For me though, I decided to have Sissel's father relocated to whatever afterlife he believes in, then steal his daughter that he and her sister bullies. Yes, because now the orphanage has a purpose. You can only adopt 2 children total though, so you can't just have all your houses filled with every orphan Skyrim has to offer, sadly, so choose wisely. I feel like the objectively best location to send your children is like Whiterun or something, where there's tons of kids, maybe Solitude. So the Hearthfire house is pretty much a terrible location if you want them to play with other kids, but they're pretty quiet locations, so yeah, that's up to you. Roleplay mechanic. The child mechanic in this DLC is very interesting. You have to have a suitable wardrobe and bed for them, so I just had to run back and forth. It was quite annoying. Children can play games with you, and you could pay them money for an allowance. They'll beg you for gifts, to which you could tell them to bugger off. That's mean, and I would feel terrible, dude. You could gift them daggers, yes, any kind. So you can give them a super enchanted, life-stealing Daedric dagger if you really wanted to. Food, such as apples and candy and sweets and goodies and stuff like that. So you could bake the Jazbay crustada, like I was saying earlier, and give them to your children.
I'm sorry.
Some books,
Until you own a home
children's
with a
books,
room
and then
for
some
your
children's
children,
clothing,
I
which you
can't allow
could
to
purchase or
adopt
find
anyone.
around the map. And a wooden sword or a doll. Those are specialty items. You can only give the girl a doll, but you could give both the wooden sword, which makes the girl better, because you give her more. And they can gift you something as well.
Say some nonsense. I have two child beds now. There's absolutely zero. Why are you naked? Why are you naked? Where are your clothes that I gave you? I don't understand anything. I'm getting out of here. I'm going back to Riften. Super asinine. Like, let me adopt the damn child. I have the house. There's literally no reason now that I can't adopt a child.
My only concern is for the children. The poor darling.
Yes, of course. That's wonderful news.
Right, most of them could actually potentially be really useful to you. They can sometimes bring in random wild animals, with the boys bringing in a skeever or a mud crab, and the girls bringing in foxes or a rabbit. It's a funny interaction. I'm not adopting a dog, though, which they can ask you to adopt, because they're far too loud and barky for my tastes. It adds to the noise pollution of this game, and the game has a big noise pollution problem.
Congratulations.
You could send them to bed, tell them to go outside, or do chores or other nonsense. I was laughing when I figured out you could do this. Like, do I want to send my kid to bed?
Not much.
Want to make him do chores? That's kind of funny. Spouses can even have interactions based off of where you live with 4 different response types. The arrogant spouse type just seems to be a dickhead the entire time, except for solitude. She likes solitude, or she, here, whatever. I thought there was different dialogue options for each of the 3 houses. I vividly remember them liking the Morthal house or something, and saying they hate it here to different ones. I don't know. That's what I remember, but I researched it, I looked online, I just couldn't find information on it, even though I remember it. Overall, this DLC will run you a couple of hours, and it can always be a little side thing to do throughout a playthrough, not just all at once like the other ones. For me though, building a home was always like 1 or 2 on the priority list before I could afford a good modded home. The houses have a nice design, they're in decent enough locations, even if Lakeview gets attacked every 45 seconds. Is it called Lakeview? All in all, there's really not much to say about this DLC, it's just that good, and that meh. It feels like the vanilla game. It doesn't scream DLC at you 90% of the time. It's just a cozy little DLC that is perfect for every few playthroughs to build your home and every playthrough to adopt a child or 2. Does it make the game magically a 10 out of 10 with it here? No, but it does increase the overall feeling of the game. I love Hearthfire. It might not be a breathtaking, groundbreaking DLC super expansion, but it's just enough to make me feel like it's part of the base game in all the right ways. I know this wasn't a lot of video, and the quality might have been reading all the wiki and recollecting what I did, sprinkled in with some random Mantella moments, but it's really not much else you could say about this thing. It's just there, if you catch my drift. And it's a good way. It's there in a good way. It's a good expansion, good DLC, and good times. Why would I rate it? If I were to rate it overall, pretty good. Pretty good. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, etc., etc.
What do you need, my friend?
Well, we've built the house, adopted a child, and it's furnished. What now?
My thing, we've done so much together. The house stands as a testament to our work, and little Sissel has brought such joy to our lives.
Alright, soon I'm gonna have you sit here and raise our child, and I'm gonna go speak to the leader of the Dawn Guard. Not yet, we're gonna spend some time on vacation here, but I'm just saying, you know, soon.
I am your housecarl, my Thane. Whatever you wish, I shall do. Though I must admit, I am confused by these Arrangements? You speak of raising our child here, yet also speaking to some leader. Very well, my king. Whatever plans you make, I shall follow. Though I fear I do not fully understand what lies ahead.
Good night, Lydia. See you soon.
Good night, my Thane. Sleep well. I shall keep watch.